Hey guys, what's up? Mark here and
Wes.
So today for Trash Talk, the 11th episode, we are going to be going over... Oh, before I talk about that, real quick, we're starting our new arc where it's just games that have been out for a while now. They could have been out for a while or for a long time, because our last arc was the E3 arc, and now we're just doing games that have been out for whenever. We may know them, we may not, but that's pretty much our new arc. And it's going to be, starting with this episode onward, is pretty much this new arc. So for today, we are going over
Injustice, God's Mamas. So what should we talk about first?
Let's go over probably the story. So in this game, and now there are actually, I read, for Injustice, there are comics, digital comics, soon to be released into like, was it retail, whatever, like paper comic form. There are comics that are more of a prequel to the game, but we're not going really over those because I don't know much about them, and neither does he. But we're going to go over the game story. So Injustice takes place in two different universes. There's the universe, our universe, the Prime universe, as we're going to be calling the characters their Prime, selves.
And then the alternate universe filled with a number alternate storyline. And at the beginning of the story, it takes place in that alternate universe where Metropolis is destroyed, and Lois and Superman's child are dead because of Superman.
So to justify, in this alternate universe, the Joker ended up somehow drugging Superman into believing he is fighting Doomsday when in reality it's Lois, and so he kills her and their unborn child. And with that, Superman. So that's how the story mode kicks off. Is that Batman and Superman are interrogating Joker, and Superman ends up just kind of going, he's all out of it and everything, and he kills Joker. And as everyone knows, from the superhero credo and everything, heroes can't kill. And that's exactly what Superman does, and with that he kind of loses all his morals. And following that, he ends up becoming what's it called, like the Supreme High Counselor, I think it's called. And he makes like a new world order and everything.
And then back in the Prime universe, there's Lex Luthor gives the Joker an atomic bomb, which is gonna blow up Metropolis. I can't say Metropolis.
Metropolis.
But they managed to but they're coming close to stop him when Joker, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern, and a certain number of other characters get pulled into the alternate universe.
Yeah.
In which they discover that Superman has become all dictator and shit to Earth.
Yeah.
And has taken completely control.
So
Complete
control.
Complete control, yeah.
So yeah, this alternate Superman is the main villain of the game. There is a lot of story, and I think we should have prefaced this by saying the creators of this game were NetherRealm Studios, who you should know is very famous for the Mortal Kombat series. You want to say something? I heard you go, I have something to say to that.
Yes, I do have something to say.
Well, then go.
With NetherRealm Studios, what they did for Mortal Kombat, it was pretty damn good. Which it did so well, it's become the new standard for all new fighting games, in which they update it with new DLCs every so often, and the fighting is perfect, and then the X-ray moves in Mortal Kombat are just so good. They're like icing on the cake. And so are the fatalities. And they made the fatalities easier by, once you learn the fatalities, they have them in the moveset, and then the fatalities right there. And they did something similar. Yeah. You did not know that?
I didn't know.
Yes, once you learn the fatality.
Oh, I forgot it.
For those that don't know, which I don't see anyone would not know this,
okay,
is once you learn a fatality in the new Mortal Kombat 9, it's on a move list, and it says finishing moves instead of fatalities, so...
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that cut, so is that all you have to say about that?
Well, yeah. Oh no, not really.
A little bit more.
Pretty much going back to the X-ray thing. They do a similar thing in this. I don't know if they call them heroic brutalities or super moves. I don't know. Oh, but they do a lot of fun stuff with that.
In Injustice?
Yeah, in Injustice.
They're just like finishing moves. They don't really have a name that I know of anyway.
Maybe they're called heroic brutalities or super moves. I don't know.
Well, it's not exactly like
and a lot of them are really creative. My favorite one especially is the Aquaman one, which is pretty damn cool. And this is the only one that has blood.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising. Another thing, they have Aquaman in this, and
as we just said, so
we don't really see Aquaman in anything anymore. So
probably because of a certain game they made of him.
Yeah.
A while back.
Well,
you'll know about that probably.
Well, anyway, Aquaman gets treated a lot better in this. In fact, I kind of actually think his character is one of the coolest characters in this game. Just because, I mean, he wields a goddamn trident. That's already badass. It's like, oh, I got fists? Well, I got a trident. Smash, killed,
and
sharks eat him.
Sharks eat him. Alright.
Which is cool.
Okay, so back to my main thing here. So because NetherRealm Studios and how they've got their like structure for Mortal Kombat, like in terms of back to the story, in terms of the story in Mortal Kombat games, how it'll vary between characters and stuff. They even started doing that back with like Mortal Kombat versus DC and some other stuff. And so likewise, they did it with Injustice. In the story mode, you get to play as different characters and see their like storylines and how they fit into the whole alternate universe storyline. And that's pretty cool because Mortal Kombat did it. But seriously, I mean, like the way they did it was really cool because not only obviously do you get to play as the heroes, but you get to play as the villains, and so it makes for a lot of variety. It makes for a lot of. It just shows how everyone fits in, and it just kind of moves the story along. So that's pretty cool. What else do you want to talk about? There's
environment interactivity in this game.
Okay.
And I think they did this really cleverly. Like in the environment, you get to use stuff to your advantage. Like maybe like throw cars to beat the crap out of people, or some crap like that.
Yeah, certain parts of the environment
can be used to your advantage.
In battle, yeah.
But it depends on what character you play as. If you play as Superman, you get certain options.
Like here's an example. Sorry, I know what you're going for. Cause I'm gonna expand on that. So like, for a personal example, I remember like if you're say a more built character like Superman or Black Adam or something, and say one of the levels is the Wayne Manor, the mansion, right outside. So like there's a motorcycle in the background, and it's one of the things you can interact with. So if you're like Superman or Black Adam or Batman or someone, you can take that motorcycle and smash it into your opponent. Or if you're someone a little bit like if you're any of like the girl characters, so like for example I was Harley Quinn in one fight, you're able to ride the motorcycle into the opponent. So a lot of different characters can interact with the same objects in some of those
in
levels.
Different ways.
Yeah, in different ways.
So yeah,
variety. It's really cool. So what else is there? Oh, I know. There's I lost it. So some of the I think it's not really like a throw. It's more of like an attack, I guess. But kind of like how there's in Mortal Kombat versus DC, you can chuck people through like the walls, but instead of like falling down and doing some like moves as you're falling or whatever, like in Mortal Kombat versus DC, there are like these kinds of super throw attack deals where you can throw them into something, and there's like a lengthy cutscene where they'll hit different things and stuff on their way up and on their way down, and it actually even so it lands them in a different part of the level, and then you show up and you continue your fight in a different location in that same like level. So that's really cool. I like those kinds of moves, even though they're mostly done to me, but I still think that feature is really cool. There's a lot of fighting features. Want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So there's two kinds of moves, like battle features, like in battle, in game, that are really cool. The first one is called, I'm pretty sure it's called the Clash, the Clash.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Where you pretty much no, it's called the Wager, in which you have to use parts of your life bar and you have to match it or overpower them
Overpower it.
Overpower it.
Yeah.
And if you overpower it and you win, you take away some of the other player's health, and that adds to your health, which is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
But if you lose,
then you lose like a shitload of your health.
But then gain a lot of theirs back. And if you match them,
I'm pretty sure it's
nothing
just
happens.
Yeah, it's like a draw.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a draw deal. It's like an indestructible force hitting an immovable object kind of deal.
It just remains nil. Like it just.
It's like
nothing happened. They keep going. But yeah, that feature is pretty cool.
And then another unique feature in the game is like a special kind of deal, a special ability that each superhero had like their own special ability in the game. So not every character is the same. Like Lex Luthor, for example, I noticed his pretty much he gets like a little shield kind of deal, which blocks one hit.
Oh yeah.
Which allows him to like, I guess, give him an advantage. Like he gets one hit, like yeah, or Batman, where he has like 3 batarangs and just like they can circle around him.
Yeah.
And then he can like throw them like.
Because Black Adam also, I saw he has like these little thunderbolt things that kind of circle around him too, and he can use those.
And you can use those to kind of like fire up people, like bam.
So those moves have to do with this meter that's on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like Mortal Kombat 2, right?
Yeah.
Like you get a certain amount filled, you can use like that kind of ability.
to make your special moves even more awesome.
Yeah. So what I was
and deal more damage that way.
So the other feature, the second feature I was going to talk about, has to do with that meter. Once it's full, and I'm pretty sure we already mentioned it, once that meter's full, you can, after that cut, so the second meter, once it's full, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, we already probably mentioned it, you can use, each character has their own unique, like, it's not really a finishing move, because you can execute it whenever that bar is full.
Yeah.
But you can use this finishing move, well, you can use this special move, that deals a lot of damage. It's unique with every character, and it's really
pretty much
cool.
like the X-rated attacks.
Yeah, but it's different with each character, and it deals a lot of damage. So you can use it as a finishing move if you wanted to, if you save it to the end.
Yeah,
but
it's like just be like a total asshole and be like, look, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna.
Boom. But as I have found, because we played this prior to filming this,
you can actually block them.
You can block them, and that
or dodge them.
Dodge or block, but yeah, they're not completely just like you're not completely stuck as
you're
the
not
person
completely
gonna
screwed.
Yeah.
If you're on the receiving end,
yeah.
You'd be like dodge, and then do yours and be like ha ha ha.
That would suck.
I'm the winner.
If it wasn't you that were
just like Batman, just about to like finish him, Joker off, but then like Joker dodges in and then throws it back at you.
Yeah, that would suck if you were Batman. But
yeah,
that kind of move is really cool. That feature is awesome.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much all the features in battle that I remember or know of. But what else is there? Controls.
They're easy. If you play Mortal Kombat 9,
then
they should be pretty easy.
Everything can pretty much be traced back to Mortal Kombat.
Except that they added the other stuff like the environment interactivity and all that.
Because that kind of was with Mortal Kombat, but not like this.
It was like an extreme.
Yeah, not like this. And it's really cool the way they did it here.
And then there's several game modes. There's like
yeah. There's like so in the single player genre of like modes or whatever, there's like battle mode where you can play different forms of like battle. I can relate it close to kind of like Super Smash Brothers, I guess. No, hear me out, because that's kind of like way out there, whatever. But specifically, there's also like a classic mode within that battle mode. There is a classic mode where you can choose a character and go through a bunch of other characters, and you can unlock stuff that way. Then there's like playing to beat heroes only, and you go up against just heroes or just villains. There's a bunch of stuff like that you can do.
Yeah.
And there's also Star Labs where you can do a bunch of little mission-based battles and stuff. You unlock more stuff by beating those. Get lots of trophies or achievements, as well. And then there's multiplayer mode where obviously you play with a friend, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's like the archives, I think it's called, where you can go through, look at the stuff you've unlocked, or unlock more stuff if you get like these kinds of points, I guess, through each battles.
Yeah.
Each battle you play.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that, they have a level system.
Okay, we got cut off. So what I was saying is, this game has a lot to offer, and lots of it's from the features to the story to just everything you can unlock. There's a lot to this game, and even I haven't found out everything yet. So
yeah. So if you're a really big fan of DC, and you also like fighting games, and you also like last Mortal Kombat, this game is for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially fans of Aquaman. They finally done him right. It's like, man, I can never get a good game with Aquaman. And now you have. But it's not most.
He's just involved in it.
He's just involved in it, but still it's better than nothing, guys.
So speaking of unlockable stuff, you want to talk about DLC real quick?
Oh yeah, DLC.
There's lots of cool DLC stuff.
Most of the DLCs are pretty good, except for one that's really cool looking, the Scorpion DLC.
Okay.
And this is
let's preface that real quick. There are 6 DLC characters that you can unlock. There's Zatanna, General Zod, someone named Lobo, who, if you guys know who that is, because I've never really heard of him. Martian Manhunter,
Batgirl, and then finally Scorpion.
Batgirl and Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. And his design, because I showed it to him,
looks freaking beast.
Those are the words to live by.
He is.
But
he
not.
just looks freaking beast.
Freaking beast.
And I hope for Mortal Kombat 10, which I hope they make soon. They keep his design, but they up the ante. And if Scorpion looks that cool, I wonder what Sub-Zero looks like.
Probably equally as badass as Beast.
Yeah.
As Scorpion. But not only are there DLC characters, but there are DLC, I think, skin packs. You can unlock different kinds of. They're not even so much costumes. They're like it's skins, obviously. So
yeah.
There's like I read there was like a zombie skin. There's like I forgot the other kinds of skins. There's other kinds of skins. I mean, it's really cool though. Mix those with the costumes, and that's pretty cool. Just completely customize your character.
And on that note, like how there was Mortal Kombat versus DC, and I'm going off topic, but this needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Marvel fans have been dissing DC fans, and DC fans have been dissing Marvel fans for too long. So there needs to be a game called DC versus Marvel. Or just why haven't they made a game like that yet? People would buy it. DC fans would just buy it, so that way they can play as DC and will on Marvel characters and vice versa.
The Justice League versus the Avengers. Who do you think will win?
Personally, I think I don't know.
Yeah, by the way, if you can tell,
on
Superman, Batman, so.
Yeah.
Do you think that just automatically puts for us like DC? Like Justice League would win against Avengers?
Well, this is off topic, but even though I like Batman's my favorite hero, I'm more of a Marvel fan. Because I just like more Marvel characters.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man.
But if you were to go the DC route, you would go Batman.
Yeah, if I was going DC, I would go Batman all the way. Like,
and then with the symbol will be all hunched over.
So this is an idea for you game designers. Make a Marvel versus DC. It's the only way it will end this feud.
Do you think there are any Flash games, like battle games that people have made like that? There's probably tons.
There's probably.
Probably.
And also another thing. Okay, there's 3 points. Make a Marvel versus DC game. Make a Flash game, because we haven't really seen Flash do anything. But don't make it like Sonic.
Sonic 06?
Yes. Don't make it like Sonic 06 or we'll be pissed off.
Or Superman 64. Not even just in the graphics. Obviously, we're past that, but like I mean, in controls.
Yeah.
That's probably I think that's one of the obviously amongst a lot of others, but I think that might be one of the main problems of Superman 64 is the controls. Trust me, I have the game. We've played it. Oh, save that for another time.
And then number 3, make a good Aquaman game.
A good Aquaman game. There's
not
an Aquaman game,
but a good one.
Yeah,
we need them.
We need them a lot,
especially since Aquaman's been badassed up. He deserves his own game where like he just runs around and kills fishies with his trident and then hunts sharks and beats up bad guys.
Oh my god.
While eating a muffin.
Okay, so back on topic because we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah.
All right. Character looks, character models, characters. They're really fucking cool.
Yes.
They show visible battle damage, kind of like in Mortal Kombat, so that's pretty sweet.
They show bruises, they show
cuts.
Yeah.
There is blood in this game, it's really cool. Even though it's rated like what, T? Yeah, T for T. But
so no tearing up DC characters for you Marvel fans out there. He's like, oh man, I can't kill Batman. But you can beat him up.
Obviously.
Just not with your Marvel characters.
The models are cool. The weird thing, I don't know, it's not really a problem. I just think they made alternate Superman look really weird. I just guess from the face. I don't really know what it is. I mean, it's not really too much of an issue. It's more of a nitpick, but I don't like the way they really made alternate Superman's look. I mean, Prime Superman is pretty cool. He's alright. I do like how, I think what they're going off of in the way the costumes look are from, I'm guessing, I haven't read them, but I've seen stuff about it here and there and heard and read stuff of the New 52 comic era of superheroes. They've updated they're revamping all the superheroes and everything, so their costume designs look different. Lots of other things within their own universes, their separate story lines and everything are different. But costume-wise, that's pretty much what it seems to look like, is that their costumes are based off of that. And even I read Superman's in particular, it was even kind of based off of the Man of Steel look, so that's pretty cool. But just the face on alternate Superman, I don't know, it gets me. Like, it looks so weird.
Like, it rubs you the wrong way. Like,
I don't know. Especially with there's close-ups of this guy's face.
And like, speaking of which,
they're weird.
I also kind of have I like a nitpick in the game. I really don't like Prime Harley's look. It doesn't look right to me. Like, I don't know. It just looks. Yeah.
Well, would you rather than model it off of the Arkham series?
Yeah.
That's kind of what they went with her alternate design.
Yeah, they kind of went that.
You should see her concept art. Her concept art, because you can unlock it through like those points I was talking about earlier. You can unlock different characters' concept art. And Harley Quinn's, they have, oh my god, there's so many drawings and concepts for like her costumes. Most of them were based off of her look in the Arkham series.
In the Arkham series.
I need to show you them. They look
I don't know, cool. I like her alternate version better. It just looks more like Harley. It's like, okay, that's freaking Harley. I don't know what this one is.
Some of the costumes.
This is like someone trying to be like Harley. And then I don't really like alternate Joker's costume. But then again, you don't really see him much because he dies in like the first minutes of the game. So
in the story, I mean, obviously you can play as him as an alternate costume.
I don't know, like the thing, like the folds in his jacket are like just pointy, like
the pointy, yeah. I don't know. I think it looks pretty okay.
I don't know. Like, I just have a problem.
Opinions, but yeah.
I have a problem with those two characters, and they're one in alternate form and one in prime form. But otherwise, I like the other designs for them.
Yeah, for the most part, that's the other designs. I did at first. I kind of find it for certain characters. I'm not really even sure now because going through them in my head real quickly, I can kind of see how. When I first started playing, me personally, it was kind of hard for me to distinguish. Mostly like for Batman, but for a couple others too, it was a little hard to distinguish their look because their looks are so pretty close to each other from the prime to alternate. But Batman mostly was the one that kind of caught me off guard. I was like, wait, how do I tell which one's which? Especially in story mode. But then, kind of looking, especially with the mask, is how I finally figured it out.
The masks look different.
The masks are different.
The prime one looks more like the Christopher Nolan Batman.
Yeah.
And then the alternate Batman looks more like more traditional looking Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, more like the old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of looks more old school.
But it's pretty cool. But no real, besides those nitpicks, no real problems with the costumes and designs. They look really neat, especially how it just shows with the battle damage and everything. It's pretty cool. What else is there to talk about real quick? We went over story, characters, environments. I'm pretty sure that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really, so, okay, so with this arc, real quickly before we sign off, you saw in our E3 arc how we did what we were expecting of these games, the E3 games, because they're not out yet, obviously. With these games that have already come out and we've seen them, we've experienced them, we're going to do things a little bit different with the expectations segment of the show. We're going to talk about what we were expecting prior to the game's release when we first heard about it. So when you first heard about this game, and now it doesn't really matter if you wanted to buy it or if you just kind of thought it was interesting, what were you expecting out of this? Especially knowing it was from NetherRealm.
I was expecting a lot of badass action, a lot of awesome stuff to happen, and for the most part, it did happen. They did a really good job with this game. Was it Mortal Kombat 9 good? No, but it was still pretty good nonetheless.
Yeah, it did have its little issues and things. My expectations were for it to be a good fighter with decent controls, and those were pretty much met. Sometimes the controls can get a little bit but like I said, it varies with each character, so maybe it's just because we haven't gotten the hang of each character yet and we're just experimenting with them and everything, but I expected for it to have a good story, because I really didn't know what this was going to be about. I just knew they were because it's called Injustice Gods Among Us, so you already kind of get a feel of, okay, something's going to happen within, it's not them going out against the world or other people, it's kind of they're collaborating with each other and they're going up against each other. I had no idea it was really alternate story, alternate universe and all that stuff, but I was expecting a good story, and obviously it's a really good deep story because they have comics that tell the story leading up to the game, so they've thought of everything really. I mean, because this is DC, even though it's from the creators of Mortal Kombat, it's still DC, and in that sense, they know how to tell a good story, and so my expectations for the story were met. So overall, it met my expectations, and those were the things I was expecting: good controls, good story. It has lots of unlockable stuff like we were talking about earlier. So that's pretty much that. What were you gonna say?
Well, pretty much we're gonna go, and our verdict's gonna be changing. So instead of our verdict being 5 out of 5 for right now, we're not gonna do a verdict per se, but we're gonna do, should you buy into this game or not? Oh, well, if you're a real big DC fan and you really like fighting games and you like the last Mortal Kombat, then buy it. And if you really want to just have a fun time with friends, if you're not really big story, if you're not a really big campaign guy and you just like to play a game because it's a game, it's a real good game, you should buy it. Mm-hmm. So overall, buy this game.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think we should keep the verdicts, because it's not because if it gives you experience, I mean, you don't have to, or you don't even have to have experience to give a verdict. I mean, from the stuff that we've been pointing out and everything, I think we should probably keep them. They're still the same, like we were talking about, because we even said that in the Titanfall episode, dude. So we're going to keep our verdicts. But they're going to be from 0 to 5, no negatives. But from 0 to 5, what would you say your verdict was? From what you played and what you...
4.2 out of 5.
4.2 out of 5?
Yeah, I'm going with the weird numbers.
The weird numbers. The nerd is back. Finally got my glasses, but they're sunglasses, whatever. So if I had my calculator, we would be doing all this and testing out whatever. Stupid nerd impression again, sorry. But, so 4.2?
Yes.
Don't you want to go quarters? 4.25?
No.
He wants to make it complicated.
4.2.
It's gonna be 4.25. My verdict for this game is a 4.5 out of 5. It's not perfection. It's got its little It's got its cons.
Yeah, you got it.
But the pros are there, and the pros really do shine.
The pros really do, yeah. They really outshine all the negative stuff about it.
You also can't really, I mean, you can see, obviously you can see the Mortal Kombat stuff because it's made by NetherRealm, but you gotta also think kind of outside of NetherRealm and being it related to Mortal Kombat. Just as itself, for DC stuff, it's a really good game. There aren't too many DC games like this, and this got all the rage. I don't even know what kinds of ratings it got for like what other people have rated it, but I would assume it's really good. I mean, but a 4.5 out of 5 is my rating for this game, is my verdict. So with that, this is the start of a new arc of Trash Talk. This is how it's going to pretty much be like from now on, unless we do like a couple other E3 games that we haven't mentioned before in the last 10 episodes, where then it will revert for that episode back to that kind of structure. But for the most part, this was Trash Talk. So I'm Mark.
I'm Wes. And this was Trash Talk.
It's Trash Talk. See you guys later.
Bye.